I'm Philip from Optimize Lab, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the optimal Google Ads search structure to use within your account. Now, this structure is recommended by both Google Ads and myself, and it's the structure which is best suited to most businesses that are running search ads. And what do I mean by structure? Well, structure includes all of the different campaigns and targeting within your account and how they're organized. And this is going to affect greatly the performance of your account. Now, this particular structure allows you to leverage Google's AI and machine learning within your account. And I believe that any accounts not using this structure is going to be missing out on all of those benefits that you get from Google's machine learning. And for that reason, anybody not using this structure is going to miss out going ahead into the future from those benefits and is going to impact their performance. So what I've got here is a document from Google that goes through the entire structure and how that should be implemented in your account. There's actually quite a few slides here. So if I went through this document, it would take probably about an hour to go through all of the different aspects of those campaigns. But to save you time, I'm going to go through the structure using a very simple diagram that I've created. Um, so if we just take a look here at this diagram, what we've got is a review of all of the different campaigns that you need to set up in your account and how those campaigns need to be organized. So to start off with, at the top, we have brand search. So of course, this is a search campaign targeting your branded keywords. Most accounts target their own brand for good reason. Is typically the targeting that gives you the absolute best bang for your buck within your account. However, some clients, some accounts don't want to target their brand. That's absolutely fine. That's optional. You can not have a brand campaign if you want, if you feel as though that is cannibalizing your brand search. Most advertisers do target their brand, and it's beneficial for them to target their brand. So the benefit of having a separate brand campaign, of course, is that you can see how it performs and you can control the performance and the targeting of that campaign. And importantly, you want to make sure in most cases that your brand is negative matched in your other search campaigns. So if you have a search campaign that's targeting your one of your services or products, you want to make sure that you're not including your brand in that. You want to make sure all brand searches are going through the brand campaign. Now, because this is a structure built around search, all of these campaigns are going to complement and drive that search activity. So we've got a number of different campaigns here that I'm going to go through. But the really important takeaway of this entire structure that I want to get through here is that it's about consolidation. Because previously, accounts one of the focus in accounts would be granularity. And that's important for when you are manually optimizing accounts. And going back almost a decade, um, all Google Ads accounts were manually optimized. All of your keyword targeting, all of your bids, all of the settings, that was all done on a manual basis. That's a thing of the past. Everything is done now through automation and AI. And if you want to benefit from that, you have to move away from this idea of granularity and you have to move forward to consolidation. Consolidation is effectively having as few campaigns as is possible and is optimal, and as few keywords as possible. And of the keyword targeting that you do have, you want to have as many broad match keywords in there from a standpoint of maximizing your benefit from AI and from machine learning, because you don't get the benefit of AI from the other match types like exact and phrase. And that's the reason you want to include as much broad match as you can in your campaigns. Now, why do we want to have as few campaigns as possible? The reason is because the learning is done at the campaign level. So if you have 20 campaigns, those campaigns are going to learn a lot more slowly than if those 20 campaigns were combined, if possible, into a single campaign. That campaign is going to learn a lot quicker. The decisions made by the AI are going to be a lot more effective and a lot more efficient, and therefore you're going to get better results a lot more quickly from that structure. So if we look at the search campaigns here, we've got two search campaigns, and if possible, you want to have one campaign, one search campaign. So you've got your brand campaign, you want that separate. And then for your non-brand, you want one campaign if possible. Otherwise, you want two campaigns if they must be split. And so what is the reason you would split between two campaigns? And for this structure, I've got here two search campaigns, 1 and 2. That is if the services being offered or the products being offered are very, very different. And the search intent between those two campaigns is very, very different. So in that case, you have to have two different campaigns because they're two completely separate products and the types of keywords are going to be completely different. In that case, yes, you'd have multiple campaigns if you have very, very different products. Otherwise, you consolidate as much as possible. That's how you get the power from the machine learning. And so you don't want to be splitting based on things like device or geography, anything else, unless it's absolutely, absolutely essential within your account. Now, looking at the structure of the actual campaigns, again, for consolidation purposes, you want to have as few ad groups as possible. Using broad match, you can consolidate a lot of your targeting into a select few broad match keywords that cover the full spectrum. Now, when do you want to be using broad versus exact match? Well, for your broad match, let's start with that. You'll have keywords that are 2 to 3 words in length, but typically 2 words in length, that perform very well and have a high volume. There's no point including any keywords that have low volume, only a few hundred searches a month, for example, because those will be covered already by your broad match. So you don't want to include those as individual keywords. You want to consolidate. So you want high volume keywords. You want to make sure that those keywords are very relevant and perform well. And for your broad match, you're typically looking at 2 to 3 words in length, but typically 2 words in length for those keywords. And then they're going to target the full spectrum of terms which are longer in length and generally get less traffic. We typically refer to this as your short tail keywords. And so then you have your exact match keywords. Your exact match keywords are typically going to be 3 to 4 words in length. And again, you want them to be high volume. And the reason you'll use exact match in this case is the search intent of that keyword is very specific. And if there are extra words added to that search term, it changes the meaning. And so you want to track the performance of it and make sure you're including it in your targeting. And you're getting a lot of data for that keyword because it is high volume. So you're using broad and exact match, and you're using them in different ad groups, not the same ad group. And importantly, you're not using the same word as broad and exact at the same time. So, for example, if the keyword was, let's say, Google Ads Management, and you're including that as a broad match keyword, you don't need to include it as exact match because the exact match is already included in that broad match keyword. If it has a very specific meaning and you don't want to target the wider keywords, then you would add it as an exact match, and then any other keywords will be covered by another broad match keyword that you might have, for example. So again, you want to minimize your use of keywords, consolidate everything as much as possible. Now, moving on to the other important campaign types. So we have here on the right, YouTube and display. For many advertisers, this is optional. They might not have video assets to put within a YouTube campaign. They might not have image assets that they want to put within a campaign. But as you want to branch out and increase brand awareness, and you want to start filling the top of funnel um, of prospective clients who then may end up searching, then you want to start incorporating YouTube and display. And so these campaign types are effectively working in synergy with search because they are reaching people who haven't yet decided that they want to work with your brand, um, potentially, and they're doing research. And so you can target those people. Now, what does that structure look like? Well, if you have both YouTube and display, you can target remarketing audiences. So these are people who have interacted with your brand before, they've visited your website before. You can use custom audiences, so people who are searching for relevant keywords. You can even use some of the keywords that you're already using in your search campaigns and bring those over to create custom audiences. So then you begin targeting people who are already, you know, are already searching for those types of keywords. Then you have in-market audiences. These are ready-built audiences by Google that are people who are in the market to buy products and services like yours. And then you have affinity audiences, which are people who have interests in the type of sector you're in, the type of product that or services that you're selling. Now, you can see here there's a lot of crisscrossing here, and that's because in both YouTube and display, you can target these same audiences because they're two separate channels, and then you're getting multiple touch points across those different channels, and you're reaching those people perhaps at multiple instances, and then that's what's filling the top of your funnel and getting people down where they're searching for either your brand or they're searching for products and services through your normal search campaigns, and then when they land on your website, they're recognizing your brand. So all of these campaign types work in synergy with your search and with your brand search. Now, moving on to the last ingredient, and that's Performance Max. Now, you might be thinking, well, why would I use Performance Max if I already have search and already have a brand campaign, I already have YouTube and I already have a display campaign, and I'm already doing remarketing, so why do I need Performance Max? Well, Performance Max is not designed to compete with your existing campaigns. If you're running Performance Max, it's not going to compete in terms of pushing up your cost per clicks in the auctions. Performance Max is going to work in synergy, and it's going to act as a campaign that reaches out and targets any particular people who weren't already targeted by your existing search or YouTube or display campaigns. It's going to act as a backup to target those people, and Google will automatically select the best asset from all of your campaigns to serve for any particular auction, whether it's somebody searching or it's somebody browsing online and they might be reached by a display ad, or if they're on YouTube. Google's going to look at all of the ads in your campaign and use them and then select which one's going to serve to get the best possible outcome from that prospective customer. So Performance Max leverages a lot of Google's machine learning to use everything in synergy. Now, with Performance Max, you actually have a lot of options. So if you've decided that you're not going to use either YouTube or display, you don't have to add that within your Performance Max campaign. You can stick with search and just use Performance Max as a backup. Although one thing you might want to take into consideration is if the budget for your account is quite modest, then there may not be a requirement for you to use Performance Max because your existing campaigns, your brand and your search campaigns might already be utilizing your full budget, in which case you don't need to use Performance Max. Performance Max will be fantastic if your objective is to expand further. If you're already seeing amazing performance from your account, you might want to start expanding further, and Performance Max will be an amazing way to do that. So hopefully that's been informative and useful and will help you to set up that structure within either your account or your client's accounts. If you need any further assistance with setting up that type of account for your own Google Ads campaigns, then feel free to contact me at contact@optimizelab.com. And thanks for watching.